She screamed before I even managed to finish my sentence. Her voice tore through the speaker, sharp and brittle, like glass cracking under strain. I didn't flinch. I just smiled, the quiet, knowing kind that comes when you've been waiting for the storm to finally hit. 3 days earlier, a box had arrived. Pink foil, a neat ribbon tied just right, the sort of thing my daughter would have adored. Inside were cookies, perfectly shaped, perfectly sweet. There was a note, too, her familiar handwriting looping neatly across the card. Happy birthday, sweetheart. Eat as many as you like. That was my sister's specialty. Kindness coated in sugar, deceit buried deep underneath. I used to trust her. After our parents died, she'd move in with me, all warmth and promises. Said she wanted to help, and I believed her. She became the perfect aunt. Baking treats, reading bedtime stories, laughing with my daughter until late in the night. But sweetness can rot. The first crack came when I discovered the missing money. Not just mine, but my daughter's. The education fund my husband and I had built, gone. Months of deposits quietly funneled into an account with her name on it. My sister, the saint of the family, had been stealing from a child. When I confronted her, she cried, all trembling lips and shaking hands. She said it was a loan, that she'd return every cent. I didn't argue. I didn't tell her that I already knew about her messages with my husband, the ones where they mocked me, calling me clueless. I just said one word, okay, and that's when it started. She thought forgiveness came easy to me. I let her think that. I smiled through dinners, answered her calls, even let her watch my daughter again. But every time she stepped inside my house, I studied her habits, her fears, her weak spots. Above all, her obsession with appearances. My sister couldn't stand the idea of people seeing her for what she really was. So I made that her undoing. When that pink box arrived, I didn't open it. I didn't even let it cross the kitchen counter. I knew she was planning something. The note was too cheerful, the timing too deliberate. 2 days later, she called, voice unervingly bright. Did she like the cookies? She asked, a little too quickly. That was the moment I decided. I laughed and said, no, actually, your son came by earlier and ate them all. The silence that followed was perfect. Then came the scream. Raw, terrified, human. She confessed before I even hinted at knowing anything. Between sobs, she admitted she'd added something to the cookies. Nothing deadly, just enough to make my daughter sick. I only wanted you to feel what I felt, she said. You took everything from me. I let her talk. Every broken, venomous word recorded neatly on my phone. By the time the police got there, she was still screaming. The neighbors gathered outside, her husband fumbling for explanations, but the recording didn't lie. She was arrested before dawn. People said I should have felt guilty, that she was still my sister. But guilt isn't something that survives betrayal. Not when you find her fingerprints in your child's future and her laughter tangled up with your husband's deceit. Now she's behind bars. My husband vanished somewhere overseas. And I'm still here, steady, unshaken. Sometimes, late at night, I think about that untouched box in the trash. How easily she destroyed herself. I never had to poison her, never had to fight. All it took was one lie, spoken softly. Your son came by earlier and ate them all. That single sentence was enough to end everything. Justice doesn't always come with blood or violence. Sometimes it just needs the right truth, delivered with a calm smile.